Good morning, welcome to CATEX TV. My name is Frank Fortunato. Today is Monday, October 8th, 2012. Today is Columbus Day in the United States. Many offices and most schools are closed. Well, Apple Computer might be thinking the same thing about the Foxconn technology company in China being closed. Production had to stop again for the second time in 2 weeks after factory line workers at one of its big plants protested against increased labor pressure. Foxconn employs more than 1 million workers in China. What occurred over the weekend, actually, on Friday, one of the company's plants in Zhangzhou, China, lost 2 shifts on Friday after workers became frustrated trying to prevent scratchings on the casings of the new iPhone 5. A dispute then occurred between the production and quality teams at the factory, the company said. About 4,000 people then walked off the job at the plant. According to the China Labor Watch Group, which is an advocacy group, those people have returned to work. I wonder what that dispute was like. Shares of Foxconn's parent company dropped about 2% in the stock exchange in Taipei, Taiwan today. Employees were made to work through this weekend, which was a holiday weekend, and are subjected to apparently overly strict product quality demands without adequate training. This is a result of demands placed on Foxconn by Apple to improve the quality of the iPhone 5 after many customers in the United States have complained that the company's latest handset had scratches. This is true. My wife has such a phone and noticed it as well. Apple, of course, declined comment, saying that stoppages at the Zhangzhou plant in China were isolated and immediately addressed. If you were watching 60 Minutes last night on CBS in the United States, you'll know this story. United States House of Representatives Intelligence Committee Chairman has issued a report warning that U.S. companies should avoid doing business with China's 2 leading technology firms because he claims they pose a national security threat to the U.S. The report said that regulators should block mergers and acquisitions by Huawei Technologies and ZTE Corporation. Both are among the world's leading suppliers of telecoms communication. The recommendations are the result of a year-long probe, including a congressional hearing last month, in which senior Chinese executives of both companies testified, but denied posing a security threat. Of course, this report is released in the midst of the U.S. presidential election, so it did receive and will receive wide coverage. In the United States, there's a fungal meningitis outbreak. It's been traced back to tainted epidural steroid injections. About 91 cases have been found so far. 7 people have died. Federal investigators have tracked it back to a compounding pharmacy in Framingham, Massachusetts, called the New England Compounding Center. Of course, this is a little bit of a perfect storm right now as the American population with the baby boomers continues to age, many of them being somewhat, if not severely overweight, and all with creaking knees and backs and neck aches. First thing they do is rush out and get a epidural steroid injection. The number of cases are rising sharply now because people are continuing to get sick, not because people are continuing to get sick, but because investigators are pinpointing more illnesses among those who have already received the injections of the cortisone for relief of back and neck pain. A compounding center is subjected only to state regulation. It's not a mainstream drug producer. Massachusetts has already pulled the license of the New England Compounding Center. In South Korea on the 27th of September, 8 tons of hydrofluoric acid leaked from the Huawei global plant in Gumai, about 100 miles south of Seoul. It was treated initially as simply a regular accident. Although 5 people died in the explosion, about 3,000 people did seek immediate treatment. However, what they've noticed now is that the plants and the forest in the area around the factory have begun to wither. Livestock has begun to die. And the South Koreans today declared a contamination zone around the plant, making it eligible for special disaster relief from the government. A Sudanese military plane crashed near the capital of Khartoum yesterday, killing 15 people on board. The plane was a Russian-made Antonov 12 transport plane. It had been carrying military equipment and personnel down to northern Darfur. According to the Sudanese, the engine stopped working, forcing the pilot to attempt an emergency landing. However, there are 4 engines on the Antonov 12. The other 3 were working, so one wonders what happened. This follows an earlier crash involving a cargo plane leased by the Sudanese in 2009, in which 32 people were killed. The Sudanese military says that they have formed a committee to investigate the reasons for the recurrence of Antonov aircraft accidents. Good luck with that. At least 21 Egyptian policemen have been killed in a car accident after the driver lost control of their vehicle in the Sinai. About 25 more were injured. The Egyptians are saying that this has nothing to do with terrorism or any sort of strife with the Islamic fundamentalists in the Sinai, that it was just simply a deadly road accident. And in Venezuela, Hugo Chavez has won re-election to become the president of Venezuela. He won by about 10 points, defeating Enrique Capriles, who had accused the flamboyant incumbent of unfairly using Venezuela's oil wealth to finance his campaign. Mr. Chavez swept to a 10-point victory. The challenger did concede. It's now thought that Mr. Chavez will have a freer hand to push for an even bigger state role in the economy. Mr. Chavez is apparently, if you can believe any reports, gravely ill with inoperable cancer, although he did appear to look pretty spry in his campaign. That's the news for today. If we have any breaking news, we'll come back and tell you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.